आवाज आ रही मेरी बेटा? My name is Ahmed Hassan Hayat, and I have been teaching in LGS since the last 9 years. And I can see my students back there. How are you all? There as well. How are you all? Many great teachers have discussed almost all the aspects, whatever you will be going through. How many days in a year? How many days in a year? 365. And how many are left for you? 5 only. So you have spent, or in a coded word, wasted your 360 days. And now the result day has to come. And you have to produce your result in the next 5 days. And in the next 5 days, who amongst you is a fan of Shah Rukh Khan? A lot of, including me. उसकी एक मूवी थी, उसमें उसने कहा था कि 70 मिनट, अपनी जिंदगी के 70 मिनट you are going to wage war in your game. So now you have got 90 minutes. अपनी जिंदगी के important 90 minutes, and you are going for a war. And this war is for your future. And it's only in your hands. You know, we can only teach you, we can only preach you, but on the examination center, on your seats, it's only you who are fighting with the paper. So fighting can always be done with confidence. We teachers are sitting here, but I believe all these students, all amongst you, are now better teachers than us. You are more prepared for the examination than us, because it's your war. We were just mentors, but you have to incorporate whatever you have learned. First of all, my focus has always been on 4-mark question. This is that question which you always forego. 4 marks question means there are how many 4-mark questions? How many 4-mark questions? 4 or 5? There are 2 passages, and then there are 3 questions. So there are 20 marks for these 4-mark questions. And for these 4-mark questions, you can always attain 20 out of 20. And these 20 marks are in your pocket. But you always focus on the lengthy questions. I request you all to focus on 4 marks question. Now the time is over that you start learning from the grassroots level and then you can study in 5 days. It is not possible now. But whatever you have learned, अब आपको उसी को consolidate करना है. And I teach in Greenhall phase 6. I tell my students, your parents are those 2 persons who love you the most, and even after your results, they'll not throw you out of your houses. So this is not the last war. You should focus on your studies rather than tensioning yourself in some sort of those issues. ये हो जाएगा, मेरे marks कम आ जाएंगे. We are also here after so many years and we are alive. If God wishes, we'll remain alive. But this war, if you lose it, you are not going to die. So, आप लोगों से एक ही request रहेगी that you should focus on your exam rather than इस tension में पड़े रहें कि हमने A star कैसे लेना. All of you, अगर if I'm not wrong, about 500 to 600 students are here. All of you are A star students. But आप इस time बहुत extreme tension में हैं. You think that your life's last war is this. No, this is your first war. This is the first examination which you are going to take out of your school or out of your house. So have faith in yourself. There are lot of questions which you have, but my mentors, my teachers have elaborated them all. I will straightly go towards the questions. If you have got any questions, you can always ask me. But for 4 marks questions, every other student was asking for that how to attempt for 4-mark question. And one more thing which I want to explain, that what should be the length of a 10-mark question. The requirement is 4 paragraphs. And in English language, the paragraph means not less than 60 words and not more than 90 words. And in English language, I'm saying so because an idea is complete with 60 to 90 words in between. So if you are incorporating less than 60 words, your idea is incomplete. And if you are moving beyond 90 words, you are repeating your idea. So 4 paragraphs means a 2-sided page. As Sir Hafiz Yunus Bilal had told, that a 1 full page means 4 paragraphs, not more than that is needed. But for a 4-mark question, always, as Miss Alia was telling, that there is always a question that what the Muslims can learn today. And today's Muslims are us. So we should start the 4-mark question with we the Muslims should, because it is the question which is asked to us. So you should always incorporate by stating that we the Muslims should, and then you are going to answer that question. I hope I have calmed you down, because this is not the last war. And now we are going towards the questions.
So Mr. Shahriyar asks, if we are including references in a part of question 1, P1 and P2.
You are not audible to me.
Oh, sorry.
If we are including reference in part A of a question 1, a very important question, I picked it out myself. If we are including reference in part A of question 1 in P1 or P2, should we include reference with example in part B also? Moreover, should we include further examples in part B? The part B question, a very good question by Shahriyar. In part B question, you are not supposed to incorporate examples or even references. If there need be, you can incorporate example or reference, but in a very shorter line, not an explanation. But for a 4 marks question, there should be 4 different ideas, and those ideas should not be explained. Next, beta.
Sir, can previous year's questions be repeated? For example, 2024's and 2025?
Every teacher has been telling you that you should start studying your past papers. So past papers from now on is the key to success. You should keep on doing your past papers, as Sir Zuhair was telling that you should do 1 paper at least a day. For P1 1 paper and P2 1 paper. Attempt it and ask your teachers to check them, to assess them. And if you are not able to assess it, there is always the marking scheme on website, as well as the first application which was told to you by someone from Read and Write. So you can always check it from the marking scheme. Marking scheme is the best resource available for you. Give it up.
Sir, in some topics or questions, there are no references given. For example, companions, battles arrive. What should we write instead to not lose any marks?
One thing you should be clear of, that reference means anything which has happened in the past and is an authentic information. If that information is authentic, that is a reference. If you are incorporating anyone's name, anyone's battle, anyone's example, or even a passage from Quran or Hadith, all these are references. References does not only mean that Quranic passage, a Quranic line, or Hadith passage or Hadith line. All those informations which are authentic in the past are references.
Sir, can we just do last 5 past papers and get an A star?
You have got 5 more days, so I will say that if someone has asked this question, he should at least do all these 5 past papers.
Can a question come on both Imam Hassan and Imam Hussain?
Most likely not, but you should be prepared for it. Whenever a personality will come, it will be accompanied by another personality. So likely both Imam Hassan and Imam Hussain can come.
Sir, Ducky Bhai asks, is tafsir an important topic?
First of all, Ducky Bhai, I want to go to your 4 burger cafe. If you are listening, Ducky Bhai, who was that? So I'll be coming to your 4 cafe and you'll have to give us all a burger. The question was?
Is tafsir important?
Everything which is in your syllabus is important, but you should now focus on whatever you have learned. Do not learn something new. You have got 5 only days. So don't panic. If you have not learned it, you have always one choice in your CIEs to skip it. So if you have prepared every other question other than tafsir, so you can always skip it in your choice question.
In a 4-mark question, are we supposed to write 2 or 4 arguments?
4 different arguments. At times there is a question when you do not develop 4 different arguments. So when you are developing an argument, give it with an example. So it will be 4 different ideas.
Can we indirectly quote a reference?
If you are going to indirectly quote a reference, that will not be counted a reference because it is your own opinion now. So you should not bracket it, or you should not write it in inverted commas.
Is Hazrat Umar's battle and administration important for
Yes,
CIs?
yes, very important, beta.
Which battles of Hazrat Umar and Usman's caliphate are important?
If you are preparing all the caliphs, you should prepare them as a whole. You cannot say that whenever I'll be guessing, guess itself means that I've not seen the paper. So as I told earlier that you are more able right now than all of us. You know more than us. And one thing, this is Islamic studies, history of Islam. Not आपको scholars नहीं बनाना है ACIs ने. आपको Islamic scholars बनाकर मौलवी नहीं बनाना उन्होंने. It is history of Islam. So you should study, you should, or again, I'll again say that you should, whatever you have learned, just focus on that. Just consolidate that.
If is selective study a wise choice if the person hasn't started P2?
If selective?
Is selective study a wise choice if the person hasn't started P2?
अभी 5 दिन रह गए हैं. You should do selective study. I will not say that you should keep on revising your syllabus from scratch. You cannot do it. It's a very lengthy syllabus. But whatever you have done, that is enough. Just consolidate it.
Which...
How many more questions?
There are a few.
Okay.
Rather than writing the whole verse, can we just write the name of the surah?
This is not applicable, but if you are, I have one principle that when there is doubt, leave it out. If you are doubtful that you might make a mistake, do not incorporate it. It will give a bad impact of your paper. So if you do not remember the exact passage or exact line, you should skip it.
How many quotations should be given in 10-mark questions?
How many?
Quotations should be given.
At least 2, and depending upon the demand of the question, there should be 2, but you can always incorporate 3, 4.
How much in depth do I have to write to secure full marks in a 10-mark question? And how can I prepare for 4 marks before?
I have elaborated it extensively. For a 10-mark question, you should incorporate 4 different paragraphs. If it's a story-based question, you can always write it into 2 paragraphs with the 2 long paragraphs. And for a 4-mark question, you should incorporate 4 different ideas.
Ms. Zainab asks, can we start a question without giving a brief introduction?
If the question, it all depends on the demand of the question. If you are giving a very brief introduction, if I can memorize a question, अगर आपको कोई भी ऐसा क्वेश्चन जो आपको लगता है कि इसकी डिटेल में मैं जाऊंगा या जाऊंगी, तो it will give an expansion to the question. You should not incorporate the whole information. Rather, you just skip that introduction part for the demand of the question.
Is ijma and qiyas an important topic?
Very important topics for this year.
So which timeline is the most important?
Which?
Timeline is the most
Timeline from Hazrat Muhammad, peace be upon him, his birth until Hazrat Ali. Everything is important.
So any tips on how to prepare for the first Islamic community?
As I told you that whatever you have learned, consolidate it. Don't start learning something new. You will confuse yourself.
What should we do to prepare for the exam a day before?
Or
A day before the exam.
a day
What should we
before.
do?
If I had been at your place, I must have quit studied before, one day before the exam. I must have chilled. I must have taken rest, because that is the key to your success. If you are not resting and you are unrest in your papers, it will be an impact on your paper. So one day before, just एक रात पहले, मतलब if your paper is on Friday, you should stop memorizing on Wednesday night. And the Thursday night, आप जिसके पास भी बैठे, अम्मा के पास बैठे, बाबा के पास बैठे, just keep on discussing Islamic studies or Pakistan studies. This is the tip. आपको notes नहीं खोलने हैं. आपको अगर आपने की पॉइंट्स बनाए हुए हैं बुलेट्स फॉर्म में, they should be in your handbag, they should be in your wallet. उनको देखें और पैनिक नहीं करना. एक दिन पहले अगर आप पैनिक करेंगे, so the Friday day will be also a panic day.
Can P2 be prepared in 5 days?
It can be prepared in one day by me as well, but it all depends. I told you that there are only 5 days. In these 5 days, whatever you have learned, just consolidate it.
Hussain bin Iftikhar asks, how many references are ideal for each 10 marker?
I have answered it.
Requirement for a 4-marker question.
I have also elaborated the 4-mark question.
How to adjust a point that you have previously missed in a question?
This is a very important question. If you are attempting your paper according to the chronology of the events and you have skipped an event, you should not incorporate it in the last paragraph or in the third paragraph that I missed it. It will impact upon your chronology, and that chronology is very much required. So rather than incorporating it in between somewhere where this had not happened, it will be a bad impact on your paper. You just skip it.
Is it important to write the answer to part B question in 2 paragraphs?
Not really. You should not do it because you've got lesser time. You should manage your time.
How to solve 2 marks? How to get full marks in a part B question?
I have elaborated this, beta. I guess this is enough. So many. Okay, last question.
Is it possible to take extra sheet in exam to expand our answer?
Yes, extra sheets are always given, but it is always advised that you should end your paper within the prescribed number of sheets, because you have got 90 minutes and you do not have enough time to incorporate this much information. And if you are going for a length for a question, it means you are wasting your 4th question time. So you should incorporate all these questions in the prescribed time as well as sheets.
Thank you, sir. No further questions.
This was it. Your last 5 days will start from now on, and as I advised, my prayers, in all my prayers, I have been praying for all my students. For references in my phase 6 branch, I have given them collated references. If you are acquaintance to them, you can always ask them. They will be sharing that PDF file with you, and you can memorize them. And best of luck. Prayers are with you. Keep on praying rather than only studying. Pray is the ultimate. Allah Hafiz beta.